Know what I'm saying?
What's up, everybody? Y'all now live with TMB with Monkey Man, and today I got on the panel the Domino Effect with Mike and Pratt. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
So okay, yeah. Oh, it let me, now I want to notify me that we live. It ain't never did that before. So yeah, sorry for the delay. I went to sleep early and then we was having some technical difficulties. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna let these boys tell a little bit about themselves. So if you don't mind, Pratt, since Mike done fell off, tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you from and things of that nature.
Acres Home, Texas, where I was born and raised. Not too far from it right now. HISD grew up. Wesley Mabel B, if you know that. Did a little some counseling. My dad had a church, and he turned it over to me one day. So I did some counseling and led the people for a while. Some real estate stuff came up, and so we ended up losing that property. But uh, I've been pretty much looking at the ways of God, learning how He wants things to go, and how to get the outcomes that He promised. Is to do it His way. So, we all here on Earth learning life and living life the way we do. So, not a whole bunch. Just I'm just a person, man. Straight up,
That's
Just a
what
person.
just
that's
a
what's up.
person.
So Mike, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Oh man, same. It's damn near the same story, just a different, just an age difference. Grew up in Acres Home. Graduated from Wesley, MC, and Booker T. Uh, I'm the youngest of three, only boy on my mom's side. I got two older sisters, four daughters. And really just learning and observing, walking through life, understanding things, understanding how life goes, and why we go through the things we go through.
So y'all started a podcast called the Domino Effect. And what was the purpose of starting that podcast?
You
Well,
want to tackle?
some of
You
the
want to tackle
history.
that one first, or you want me to go?
Well, I'll say this: some of the history behind it was so we also call it conversations with Mike and Pratt. And some of the history behind that is Mike and I always have conversations with Gnu and Drayden and Chavez. We always we kind of like a board of directors. You have people that specialize in different things that have different perspectives, and we always hold each other accountable. And so we have these conversations about things we observe, things we see. Why is it like this? How can we make it better? This and that. And so these conversations were just between us, and we thought about it. Mike said, "Hey, how about we make these conversations public?" And so we came up with the domino effect. What's up, Mike? What you got on that?
Well, I mean, it's you never did told it all, bro. I mean, all the amazing and insightful conversations that we have offline. I was like, bro, we should really take that and put that online so people can see our dynamic. We come from two. It's somewhat similar, but it's very much different backgrounds. Like I say, like I'm more of the what's the word I'm looking for? The in the hood typical, what I'm saying, common street guy, I guess. And you bring it from a very biblical perspective. So, and we see how that intertwine, and this is what we got: the domino effect. It,
Mm,
it's it's like
mm.
it's like our conversations just have a rippling effect. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, so this week I'm starting Men's Week, and I'm finna show men the red flags that they should look for at dating women. And I feel like y'all show do help men, especially with Mike with the statistics and Pratt with the analytics. If you so what made y'all want to go in that lane with y'all podcast?
Well, it's just being turned shows like Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, Pearly Things, and understanding like, dang, this stuff that they actually sitting here talking about and breaking down is what we see in our everyday life.
Mhm.
And it's
Absolutely.
literally the way relationships work in real time.
And truth be told, in response to that, I honestly told Mike I really didn't want to do that subject, or at least I didn't want to get stuck on that subject because there's so many people doing it. And I said, if we do it, I don't want it to just be entertainment. I really want us to lay the foundation, then do the framework, put the roofing on, and actually build something. So in our conversations, it came down to how can we make effect in the generation that's coming up that'll last in future generations. And so, you know, like you said, the statistics, the analytics, it's just recorded history. The objective is to look at historically how we've been performing, the outcomes of that. And if we don't like the outcomes, then we need to change the performance, cause and effect type thing.
Right, right. So, um, do you think that? Because some people do. Do y'all think that sometimes y'all could be a little offensive, or
Yes.
do you think, that the people just need to put on their big girl panties or big boy drawers?
Well,
Both.
I look, I understand, and I totally accept that talking in this fashion, talking about these type of things, it's gonna be offensive. But in order to make the change, you gotta rattle a few cages. You gotta make people uncomfortable because people only want the truth when it tastes good. But what they say is the bitter truth. The truth hurts. And when you gotta look yourself in the mirror and be responsible for yourself and be accountable for the decisions you make, oh man, it's a whole different atmosphere. And especially with us men, because I say this religiously, men almost instantaneously have to pay for any bad decision, any illogical, irrational, any type of decision of that magnitude. You have to pay for it.
So I don't know if I just asked it, but bear with me because I think I just asked it, but I'm gonna ask it in a different way. So
Good.
where did y'all see the need for y'all platform? Like, what makes y'all platform different than any other platform that's talking about this subject? And I know for one for fact, but I'm gonna see what y'all say.
What you want? You want to go first? Or you want me to hit that?
I will simply say this, and then you can have the floor.
Good.
Sometimes people speak on biblical perspectives without the study, and I think that's one of the unique things that I guess we brought to the table. Actually, getting into the way God set it up, and not so much speculative, but how it's written, how he, women being the helpmate of the husband, he literally created a being to help him because he couldn't do this on his own type thing. His perfection wasn't perfect by himself, so he created this being to fulfill that, to bring out the best in him, to amplify the stuff that the dominance and the uh, what God put in man. So I think that perspective somewhat sets it apart. What do you think, Mike?
It's the relatability. How we're a common man, like you, like your uncle, your daddy, your brother, etc., etc. And in some cases, people's sons.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the fact that like I say, I'm more of the common man, and he's more of the man from the biblical perspective, and we put them together and see what we can come up with, and see how they could bounce off each other, and see how it flows fluidly through our life.
So
And the thing about Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit, these were men of a higher caliber and status telling you how it goes. And I'm just showing you how it aligns with the common man's way of thinking.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
So,
go ahead.
and one thing I know too is the statistics. Would you like to let everybody? Because that's what I know that separates y'all from all the podcasts that I look at. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
it's not. And to me, I'm not saying that they are, but y'all really don't give that woman bashing characteristic. If you understand what I'm saying, you try to show the root of the problem or where it could lie. And the thing about it is with the statistics, and this is what I had to understand with the statistics when I sat down and looked at y'all show earlier today, well yesterday. It's according okay, so it's like this. You got 50% chance of rain. but you know what I'm saying? We not gonna complain about the 50% chance of rain. What about the 50% chance of sunshine? You see what I'm saying?
There
So
we go.
it's like when you do the statistics, is where do you lie at personally? So what made y'all
Well,
run with the statistics?
because it's a what Hooks always say, it's a recorded document of history, and it's actual evidence that's happening in real time.
Mm-hmm.
See, you can't put your feelings in a statistic, because your feelings does not dictate the statistic. Your actions dictate the statistic. And
Exactly.
people want to fight this, but if you want to fight statistics with relationships, then that means you got to fight statistics all the way across the board. Because
Mm.
because life is a ranking system. We do this every day, all day. When
Hmm.
your child becomes a valedictorian, what do? Look, my baby is in the top 1% of her class. That is a statistic. Whenever Monkey Man, you a former coach, you coach little league. How do you tell how can you track a quarterback's progression? By his statistics, his
Yeah.
touchdown passes, his interception statistic, his sack statistic. How far is he averaging per throw? Like, et cetera, et cetera. Like, and it baffles me. It baffles me how our women push it back. But these the same women that say they're entrepreneurs. You can't conduct your business fluidly without numbers. How do
Yep.
you track productivity without the numbers? How do you track your profits without the numbers? How do you track your losses without the numbers? Everything is a statistic. That's just what it is. And it's
So
not my way. It's not Pratt's way. This is the way life has been since the beginning of time.
And statistics aren't definitive. You have to interpret statistics. The thing about statistics are they go to show a common happening, a common occurrence. So even if you look at percentages of occurrence, 80% chance of rain. If you hear 80% chance of rain, you get an umbrella. You don't argue with that. You just say, I need to prepare for it. So if you have a statistic or a happening that seems to be a regular occurrence that shows this is the tendency to happen, and you don't want that to happen, then you need the corresponding action to cause it not to happen, or don't do the action that causes it to happen. So
Yeah,
it's a glimpse into changing the outcome.
right.
And that was one of the biggest things that was happening. It wasn't so much that women were evil, men were this. It was that women were complaining about not finding good men, not finding this. And so the conversation evolved into, well, where are the good men? How do you define good men? Well, if good men become men that are earning 100,000, where how many are those, and where are they in the demographic? So the conversation led to the analytics, and the analytics were found in the statistics, and the statistics suggested this, that, and the other. So that's why statistics become important, because they help you find trends. They help you see a common progression. What's going
Well
to
said.
happen more likely than not.
Well
so
said.
so let me ask you this. I'm gonna give you two questions. We're gonna go with this one first. What do y'all feel like is wrong with today's men?
I thought that was the topic for your show, man.
You want that
Yeah,
one
but
first?
I'm gonna ask you what's wrong with that's for the women though. But I'm gonna ask a man what's wrong with today's men, because I
You want
didn't ask because you know what, and I'm gonna wait till the next week if God say the same to ask them what do they think wrong with today's women. You feel what I'm saying? Because I
mhm.
didn't ask that question. But what y'all think is wrong with today's men? Since y'all starting off Men's Week for the
you want to
TMB.
you want to talk that you want to talk about that? You want me to hit that first?
Wrong with it.
All right. Well, the problem with today's men is not understanding your rightful place in life, not understanding the magnitude of your decision making, not understanding that if you step out here, like, you have to be sound and logical in almost every single thing that you do. Because what do I say starting off? You will pay almost instantaneously every time if you misstep anything. Like, we always hear, like, and then men, we got to step out of the women's shadow, because what we doing is we're listening. We've been listening, and let me say that we've been listening for the last 50 to 60 years of what the women want, but nobody ever asked the men what they want. Nobody ever asked the men, well, what do they feel? But guess what? When it comes to these relationships, the man loses almost every single time, That's why I asked. That's why I asked on your show that day. Name me being in a relationship. A man being in a relationship. Name me one benefit that solely benefits him. But I could
Ooh,
show you
let me
two.
write that question down because I want the women to answer that.
Like name one benefit
That
from
solely.
a man being in a relationship that solely benefits him. Now I could tell you a lot of benefits that been a lot of things that benefit women for being in a relationship.
Go ahead, name 'em.
Okay, you get taken care of.
Give me three. Give me five.
You,
Give me four
you
for the
get
hood.
protected.
Give me
You get
four.
protected. You get protected. You
Okay,
get covered financially. Hell, you even get covered financially when this is over.
no
You
bullshit.
you get to do the least amount of the work in comparison and still get to split the benefits 50%. But then when this is over, I'm expected to carry the responsibility of you leaving 100%.
So that's what two. Give me three.
Three, you got two, you want to add to that?
No. I mean, so I guess I look at it a little bit differently. I see the point and it's exact, but I really like to target if we can focus on family together. The women and the men can focus on family. If you're family oriented, you tend to not worry so much about what's benefiting you as what's going to benefit the unit. And when you
Now,
look at
Mm.
what's going to benefit the unit, everybody gets benefit.
now
Everybody,
granted, now
because you're
granted,
part of the unit.
now,
But
now
there is a tendency, a statistical tendency for it to be a guy that does not have resources, doesn't get a chance. If he has resources and he's stingy with his resources, there's nomenclature for that. So it has come to the point where it's I don't need a man. If I want one, I want him on my terms. And if I'm done with him, then whatever lifestyle or whatever advantage he gave me, I need to still have that. And so that is the perspective that seems common to men and to women. You see all the little shorts on TikTok. You see this presentation where it's like me, all about me, and it shouldn't be. It should be about the family unit.
Okay, so that was probably you that typed that about the family when we were doing. So let me ask you this though, so my whole thing is, and this is what this week about. Yeah, but I need to focus on who I'm dating, right? Because this is what y'all say, or maybe I'm interpreting this wrong. I need to focus on who I'm dating first before we even get to the family, right?
Why are you dating
yes,
that person?
See, that's what I was trying to get y'all to understand that day.
If
Yeah, I know we want to focus on family, but shit, I might not like my boy Mike say procreate with who this is. So I gotta run a background check or see who she is, right?
Absolutely. But again, the question is, what is your final goal? If your final goal is just to have sex, that's still not family oriented.
Oh no, yeah,
If
yeah, yeah.
you date for the purpose of family, then all these other things should be part of that apparatus.
So, nigga, I'm 42. I don't want no more kids. So what am I dating for? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm dating, am I dating on the statistics? Because see, y'all younger than me. You feel what I'm saying? So am I dating on statistics of just finding somebody to grow old with? Because procreation is out of the picture
That's still
see,
unless
family.
something happens.
the
That's
part
still
the part was
family.
the part was the statistics with you. If you want to spend it that way, you'll have to see how many of the women don't want any kids anymore or don't want kids, period. And then there go your selections right there. Because why would you want to date a woman that wants kids in her future if you don't want any more?
If you don't want any, exactly.
Right. So
And we
so
talked
let me
about that
ask
on the show.
so let me ask you this. So y'all saying this say a woman that wants to be married but don't want no well, see, y'all really answered that because if the man want a child and the woman don't want a child, it's not going to work. It's
Not
not
gonna
going to
work.
work.
So don't
Don't
even
start nothing
start
that you're
down
gonna end
that
up
path.
leaving anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times when it begins, people are not even sure about what they want. It's just, I don't want to be alone. It's that short term stuff. But once you start bringing a child in and all that short term about me stuff is out the window. And a lot of people can't turn that off and say, okay, I got to be responsible for this child. It's still, well, how can I do this and me? How can I do this and still?
And
hold on, let me
like,
turn on my do not disturb. Let me turn on my do not disturb. Okay. Yeah.
What were you saying, Mike? You said and?
Like it was a play on something you just said, and you kind of just ran all the way through with that mug. What was I finna say? The thing is though, like you have to see where what your interests are and her interests are, where they align. And like my man said, you gotta have long-term vision here because relationships is a long-term thing. Like if we just gonna do this for 6 months, we might as well do what we gonna do and just get it done in a day or 2 days. Because nobody likes their time wasted. And why would you be with somebody that you don't see a future with? That's the number one way to set yourself up to get your time wasted. And the thing is, I ask women all the time, what's the outcome you want? Same with dudes. What's the outcome you want? What are you doing to work towards the outcome you want?
Deliberately, yeah.
And the thing is, like Hooks is talking about family, and no doubt, I'm just showing you how a man could understand the disadvantages he have by making this decision. We're willing to forego all of that in pursuit of family. All we asking is for a woman to understand and to get on the program in which we're issuing out.
That same pursuit.
Yes, because at the end of the day, what are you going to say? A man is the leader. He's supposed to protect. He's supposed to provide. Okay, if I am leading, that means you're following by proxy, correct? Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So either way, you're saying you're saying by accepting a man's leadership, I'm willing to get on his program or his idea of what a relationship consists of. It just don't sound sexy saying that out loud. It sounds so quote unquote controlling and misogynistic and narcissistic, but that's literally what you're saying.
So I'm gonna ask this question: what's wrong with today's women?
No guidance, no direction, no structure, like no way, like no logical way to reach the solution in which they say they want.
I would also say,
hold on, time out right quick. If anybody that's watching want to ask any questions, drop them in the chat, and bam, go ahead, Mike.
We're foregoing morality, we're foregoing integrity, we're foregoing dignity, all in the pursuit of the dollar bill, just to show everybody else that I can be independent, I can stand on my own. Well, standing on your own means you're standing alone. And that's why I say, if you're not gonna be well off to the point where you're not gonna need a man, guess what's gonna happen? Eventually you're gonna need a man. And I don't know, maybe you're gonna be 40 when you realize that, maybe you're gonna be 45 when you realize that, but guess what happens at 40 and 45? You're no longer the men's first round draft choice. You're no longer. And that's why I say the people that are complaining about the current state of relationships are the ones who set this rule in place. And now we've accepted your rule, we've adapted to your rule, and now it no longer benefits you. It benefits the young girls, just like you were. Just like when you was at Booker T having a 25-year-old pick you up at lunchtime. Who was complaining then?
But then you gotta understand though, those are kids making a decision that they shouldn't have been making.
But no, it's biology though, because women more often than not will choose to date a man that's older than them.
Hmm.
They even say it like, bro, I don't want no man that's my age. What I'm gonna do with somebody my age? They want older. They want experience. They want a man that's established.
Mm-hmm. That's why
Because
it was prevalent for the younger women to end up with older guys back in the day, even though now we say it's kind of gross, but you still see it. It makes sense.
it's
It
only
takes
gross
guys.
because my bad, bro. Go ahead. My bad. I mean,
You know, say what you're saying.
it's only gross because the man ain't rushing to pick you no more. It wasn't gross when you was actively involved in it.
You know, a part of it too is the long con and short con. That was hard to say for some reason. The long con and the short con. The short con was freedom. Your freedom, your independence. You can do what you want, how you want. If men can do it, we can do it too. But the long con was that same freedom and independence that you have on one end get you the same freedom and independence on the other end. Kevin Samuel said, I believe it was like in 2020, that you're going to start seeing more single mothers homeless. And we see it nowadays prevalently. I have seen in the extended stays and stuff like that, and you go past, I've seen so many single mothers there. That same independence that says you can go out and do whatever you want gets you the same independence to, if you don't successfully do that, you get the same outcome that guys get when they don't do what they need to do. If a guy doesn't pay his rent and he gets evicted, he's homeless. And it used to be that, you know, there was somebody that would run in and say, okay, I'll help, I'll support. But now the resources are too thin. Women are ending up on the street with their kids. That same freedom and independence it costs on both sides. There's always pros and cons to everything. Even Jesus was like, count up the cost before you take up the cross. My yoke is easy, it's still a yoke. My burden's light, it's still a burden, but it's light. There's pros and cons to everything.
But the thing is, we have to accept these pros. Most importantly, we have to accept these cons because remember, we're expected to have our shit together. We're expected to be able to be functionable. We're expected to sustain something over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about into our entire lifetime. Yep. Because Dre, let me ask you a question. If you go out on the street right now, you homeless and you need assistance, and a single mother goes out on the street and she homeless and need assistance, who get help first?
The woman is. That's
okay.
All day, every day, especially if she got a kid.
Great. A disabled vet that fought for this country, that got his leg shot off at Vietnam, or the, if you want to take it as recent, the war in Iraq. He goes out on the street. He needs assistance. A woman that chose to recklessly have sex and procreate, if she needs assistance, who get help first?
The woman.
Come on now. And this man that fought for the country. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You get bailed out for all the complexities in life, the complex scenarios in life. I'm expected to handle that with grace and class almost every time. Meanwhile, you get bailouts. The women get bailouts. Oh, well, I was young. I didn't know any better. How did I know he wasn't going to be a stable father? Did you do your background check? Did you grade his consistency on something? Because like I say, the human mind psychologically is, if you are a consistent male in everything you do, you're not going to just snap your fingers and become inconsistent. Vice versa, if you inconsistent in everything you do, there's no way you're going to just snap your fingers and become consistent.
And with that same thought, it's why we've seen many videos where women were like, well, I will do it for the right man. It is not something that you can just turn on and off whenever you want to. You are how you practice. If you practice this, that's what's going to be there.
Come on now. A relationship is a skill. It's a skill in which you practice. It's a skill in which you practice and you develop. Hey, look, I'm all for self-love. I understand that. You got to get yourself together before you can be with somebody. I acknowledge that. I'm not fighting that. But I'm asking this. When does self-love end and your work with the team begins?
Yeah.
Because you will never stop working on yourself. You'll be 80 years old still working on yourself. Because the second you're done working on yourself, what does that say? I'm perfect.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you think today's women has put obstacles in their way for men to connect with them?
The thing is, they put the obstacles in their way, and men is saying, I don't want to run an obstacle course. If I want to run an obstacle course, I'll go to the gym.
Yeah,
We'll
Or
rather
the
just not deal with you.
guys are gonna run that obstacle course for the top 1%, the valedictorians. Just like women want the top percent, they want guys that are successful. They don't want the bottom of the barrel. Guys are the same way. So if you
You can
put
even
all of this in front of you, you better be worth going through all of that. In
you
his
you can
eyes, not in
even
your eyes.
you can hear it even when they talk. I'll accept the man that's making this, but he gotta want to make more. See, it's free is freedom of choice, but you really don't have a choice. But men, we understand that, Jermaine. I cannot work and sit at home, do nothing but smoke weed and play the game and say, man, I want a top of the line woman. I want the top 7% of women. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna get laughed out the building
Yep.
because it's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You have to a man has to create his value. Your value is what you can build. That's why the expression exists. If I build it, the blank will come.
yeah,
But you have to build it.
Yep.
Because again, you are naturally the leader, the provider, the sustainer, the replicator, the duplicator, the illustrator, never the procrastinator. Fuck you saying I'm
Good.
a motivator. Fuck you talking about? Like,
Good.
and it's just it's so normal for men to just go along to get along and to just accept whatever they're given. That's why talk like this get pushed back or it gets spent into something that we're not saying. But at the end of the day, we can have all of these conversations. We can talk until Jesus come back. Until the time comes to where the women gets on their knees, they propose to a man, they do the courting to a man. When we get married, you give up your last name. Whenever I say, you know what, Jermaine, I don't want to do this no more. I'm unhappy. I'm out. And you pay for my lifestyle. Then you'll understand everything we're sitting here saying. Because men can only have sex with who's ever allow him to, but we marry who we want. Vice versa, a woman can only marry who's available to her or whoever wants to marry her, but she can have sex with whoever she wants. That's just
mm,
the fact of life.
mm. That's deep. That is deep. So,
Just the fact of life, man.
so can we say? Because I heard you say this before, and this really sticks to me. What made you come up with the concept that don't? I don't know how you say it. How you say it? Oh, don't give me. I don't say. Okay, whatever you
Don't
did in
hold
your
me to the
last
standard that you would have
relationship.
hold your baby daddy to.
Yeah. What made you come up with that? Cause that, man, I ain't gonna lie, I like that shit. I like that shit.
Because,
Like
bro,
for
like
real.
women, and look, I swear to God, let me say this before I go any further hooks. Michael is a men's advocate. I'm not a women's advocate. If you want a women's advocate, you go talk to the representatives that's been around for the last 50 to 60 years. If they ended up getting you further from the outcome that you want, then you need to talk to them. Now, this right here, bro, is some delicate information, and in the wrong hands, it can be deadly. Now, women control the birth rate and they control sex. We control family and we control commitment. Now, if you're telling me that the man you sat here and chose to procreate with is less than, now granted, that's unsolicited. I didn't ask you if he was less than. You're going to tell me he's less than. Okay, bet. So if I'm better than him, why am I getting the exact same outcome as him? That don't make no sense, bro. Like if
Right.
we go to the store, I'm gonna put it in a phrase I know the women can understand. They love shopping. Let's say we go to the Galleria. Let's say we go to the Gucci store. You go get the flyest Gucci bag in the store. You, your sister, and your daughter. Fuck it, well, whatever. Well, no, your sister, you and your two sisters. Y'all go to the store, get the bag. But you gotta pay $100. You gotta pay full price, retail price. The sister to the left gets to pay $100. The sister to the right gotta pay $500. It's the same bag, same design, same color, same everything. What's gonna be your reaction?
Why I gotta pay? Why I gotta pay? Yeah,
Why I gotta
500
pay
when she.
more?
Yeah. Why I gotta pay more?
For the
Why
same
I gotta
thing.
pay more? Like, then this is what I mean. Like, you get the leadway to make reckless decision after reckless decision and have somebody there to clean it up. If I go out here and have 8 kids by 8 different women, what's the first thing they gonna say? Hell nah, nigga, I ain't finna date no nigga with all them kids. That's too much drama.
Yep.
Oh, but I'm expected to carry the load, which will benefit you and yours 24/7. But it'll only benefit me and mine's whenever mine's is here.
Mhm.
Come on. So that's why you can't take all the pros of being a parent, and then when the negatives come around, you don't want that. Oh no, hell no, that's too much. Well, no, that's not life.
Pros and cons to everything.
Pros and cons, bro. Did you know there are laws put in place that make men be accountable?
Mhm.
There are laws put in place that keep women unaccountable.
Say that one more time.
I said there are laws put in place that make men
So,
remain
do you
accountable.
think child support is one of them?
Definitely. Who makes up the majority of child support?
Right. So, do you think there should be a salary cap on
No, because
child
I feel
support?
like no, because that gives rich people the right to procreate and not take care of their kid. It definitely shouldn't be a salary cap.
Mm.
But I feel like for child support, the woman should, whoever is the recipient, let's say that, whoever is the recipient, you should have to show what you're doing with the money.
Honestly, it should go into a trust, and the trustee should be appointed to ensure that it's only the child that is benefiting from it.
That's
Mm.
how we cut out the mismanagement of funds. Cause there's
Yeah.
no way I'm giving you $2,000 a month in child support and we talking about a party. There's no way. First off, 2,000 a month for a kid is crazy.
Yeah. It's grown
I
folks
got
that
four
barely
kids. I
living off
got
of
four
that.
kids, bro. I got 4 kids ranging in between the ages of 13 and 5. Ain't no way one kid costs $2,000. Even though I don't understand it's a radical number, but you get my point.
I mean, it's all in perspective.
Man, these people gone, bro. I can finally talk the way I want to. Fuck you saying.
my boy, my boy at the JOB. So let me ask you this: with you having 4 kids and a woman having 4 kids, what makes y'all different?
Because naturally, well, damn, I don't want to feel like I'm doing all the talking, but because naturally, what does the child stay? In most cases, who's the custodial parent?
Right.
Like, and that's another thing that you gotta understand when it comes to procreating. If this don't work out 9 times out of 10, you gonna end up with the kid. Now, granted, I could go down there and file for custody, but what's gonna happen? You gonna fight me on that? Why can't my baby stay with me? He don't and it's gonna turn into a mudslinging contest. I damn near gotta go down to the court and make the mother out to be a diabolical human being that's unfit. All she gotta say is, "Well, I want my kid." Okay, boom.
So, Pratt, let me ask you this: how long will it take, or do you ever see relationships going back to being biblical, or at
Only
least,
by
or at least close to it? We ain't gonna say all the way, you know what I'm saying, but at least somewhat, other than
there
just
are there
marriage in a church house.
there are a lot that do. I mean, when you talk about marriage, there is a reflection, a correlation. A lot of things in the Bible are parabolic, and if you were in math, you know parabolas the way they look. What's on one side tends to be on the other side, no matter where it's seated. It looks the same on the, okay. So when God put forth the marriage, the coming together of the man and the wife and the woman, it was usually a virgin bride. And the oath that he took to her was sealed in blood. When he had sex the first time, hymen broke in blood. It's a blood covenant. We got away from covenant marriage and got into contract marriage. What you want, what I want, okay, we agree to it, boom. We still do it in the church. Sometimes you go down to the courthouse, but we've got more into contract marriage. And when a person doesn't like what's in the contract, or they decide, I just don't want to fulfill my part, they just breach the contract. Or they use the out clause, depending on how well the contract's made. But the comparison is to Christ and the church. He shed his blood to seal us so that we're protected. We're under that covering. Women and wives used to be under the covering of their husbands. Now they're not under the covering of their husband. They doing anything they want to, however they want to, and there's nothing you can say about it because you ain't gonna hold me down. You're not gonna make me this. You're not gonna do this. Submission is slavery, et cetera, et cetera. But they don't understand the true way that God set it up for them to be protected. All of this going out and having to work and potentially being homeless and all this, a lot of that stuff God protected them from by having a man in the authority, and they were under his covering. But now they're not under the covering. And when you start casting off restraints, as the Bible calls it, you have this freedom to be attacked from all sides. You don't have that covering. You don't have that protection. And a lot, like I said, the conversation came from women complaining about being single mothers and having to struggle by themselves and so much. That freedom to do what you want offers you the freedom to get indescribable results. So can we go back to it? There are still some that live according to it, but it's your choice. If you don't like the outcome, look at the analytics, look at what's happening, causing the outcome, and then make the adjustment. But it's going to be on the individual. And that's why I keep talking about being family minded, because if you're family minded, then that plugs in, it automatically plugs in. You don't want to be in control of the house. You want to be under his covering, and you want to find somebody who has got good cover, not just financially, but does he pray? Does he study at home? It ain't just about going to church every Sunday and Wednesday. I don't even understand how Christians don't have Bible study at home. If it says study to show yourself approved unto God, how do you study to show yourself approved if it's only under someone else's tutelage? So There's a lot of things that are happening that we just outright ignoring and saying, I got this recipe from God. I did not use this recipe to make this, and I pulled this out the oven, and you telling me I got to eat this? Yeah, because you made it. The seed you plant grows the trees that are intended based on that seed, and that's yours. And there's no getting around it. Like what Mike has said, guys, in most cases, we're getting almost instantaneous. Once some charges get on that card, they're expecting a minimum payment real quick, at least a minimum payment. And for a while, it seems like the payments from women have been deferred. And now they're like, we want all the money right now. For you 40 years old, single, and you're like, man, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be alone. I'm always struggling. I'm always this. When is it going to pop for me? When is it going to change? And now the charges, the card has come due.
So I'm just saying, so y'all saying majority of women are getting married for not what you can do for us, but what you can do for me.
Well, I wouldn't say getting married.
Maybe not even for marriage. What's up?
Just getting into a relationship.
There we go. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's why I used that word advantage earlier and disadvantage. What they're saying in so many words is, I gotta be able to see the advantage of being with you. Mm-hmm. That's why they're saying, well, you can come in the door making this money, but you can't stay right there. Right, because I won't see any advantage of being here. Quite frankly, I would end up doing majority of the work. The roles would be flipped. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I did. And you know what? I did have one woman on the show, but she had stated that she don't want to do. So let me ask y'all this. Should it be a 50-50 thing in marital relationship, like with the bills and the finances and the taking care of kids and everything. We're gonna put the whole thing in the hole because it can't be 50-50 if she just taking care of the kids and helping with the bills. You see what I'm saying? Or is it even a such thing as a 50-50?
I think that's an unreasonable metric in a marriage, in most relationships.
Because somebody gonna take on something a little bit extra.
I mean, anytime you encounter somebody, a relationship begins. You go to Starbucks, you get to that counter and you talk to that person, a relationship with that person has begun. If you go there every day, you build that relationship, correct? So you would never say, I don't know if I'm on a 50-50 relationship with my coffee barista, because it's unreasonable. That's an unreasonable metric for relationships.
Especially
I don't
when you
even know where that came from.
It's unreasonable, especially when you put in the male and female dynamic. Because if we're like I said, don't I say this all the time? If we're accepting equality, we gotta accept it all the way across the board. Because there's no such thing as partial equality. If we're accepting partial equality, we're basically saying, well, I only want equal when it benefits me.
Yeah, and that's not equality. And it's like I said, it's an immeasurable metric. How do you measure equality in that type of relationship?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest about something. If a man breaks in the house and we both at home, are we gonna sit there and play paper, rock, scissors and be like, let's see who's gonna get this one? Or hey, baby,
no, we gotta go to the chart. If we're gonna do it right, we gotta go to the chart. I did it last week.
Yeah, I did it last week. You got this week. Man, she's gonna look at me 3 ways Sunday. The divorce paper's gonna be on my pillow in the morning.
Absolutely. Along with that pistol you told her to go get.
Yeah, because she gonna say, oh, this nigga weak. What type of nigga is this?
Yeah.
Who raised you? Type of shit.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, who raised you? Whose man's is this? But no, seriously though, like, and again, y'all, like listen, and I want to say this, bro. I know this might come off as quote unquote women bashing or narcissistic or misogynistic, but hey, this is the law of the jungle, and this is just the way that it is. This is the way the society is built. And if I did, like, I want the world to understand something. Me and Pratt do not get paid for our podcast. We're paying for that podcast. $50 a month. We're paying. So that means I'm spending my money. I'm spending my time trying to educate my men and our women. I'm taking 5 hours a week, 2 hours on your show, 2 hours on our show, and our reaction Saturdays. And we're explaining this. If I didn't care, I wouldn't say shit. I'll just go get a white girl. I'll just go get a Hispanic. I'll go to Europe. I'll go to Germany. I'll go to Thailand. I'll go to Barbados. I'll go to Brazil. I'll go to Dominican Republic. I'll go to Puerto Rico. I'll go to Germany. I'll go to China. I'll go to the Maldives. You see all these places I just listed?
So you saying the passport bros are a cop out on American women?
No, the passport bros are basically saying I don't have to just limit my reach to America. Because look at the women in America.
Yeah. If you look at what's being portrayed in the majority online, it's this type of stuff that we're talking about stopping. And if the good stuff, the balanced relationships, the good family, the successes aren't being talked about, if you don't know no better, your best bet is to go in the other direction. So if you have the availability, if you have the resources to expand, why would you not expand? It's like living in poverty, and then you get a good job and you make enough money to move your family out, but you say, I grew up here. Preach. But you have the resources now to do better. Yeah, but this is home. It wouldn't make much sense, right?
Right.
Don't make sense at all.
Right.
So go ahead, bro. No, finish that shit.
No, I was just gonna say, so if if you have the opportunity to expand and to look at other cultures, a lot of other cultures are family based, and I think that's why a lot of the guys go there. It ain't because these women are weak or they don't stand up for themselves or they came from nothing, so you basically buying their loyalty. They grew up family oriented. And one thing a guy does not, if I call this my castle, I don't want to come in from war into war. And that's one of the things that a lot of guys complain about. When I come home to this strong black woman, I get strong black aggression. I don't want that when I come home. But if you was this way, then I wouldn't have to do that. No, not here. This should be our safe space. Well, this and it. So they just say, okay, forget it. I mean, I would love to have some of them on a panel maybe and ask them, well, why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you do it? But what we see online is a lot of them just like, why should I fight after fighting? I want somebody that's family oriented, that's going to help me build, truly help me build, not so they can grab and go, but to build and have something for the future generations and pass on. So that's precisely, that's why I'm building and why I haven't had kids and why I haven't married yet. For that exact reason.
And in a lot of ways, and I kind of, our culture, this really, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't know about white, I don't know about Mexican, I don't know about Japanese, but I know what I see. You see what I'm saying? I know what I see. And I don't know if I know Mike probably too young, but I remember Mike, it was a dude named Mike when the store used to be Handy Stop down there on the corner.
That's
when it was
Mike,
back.
bro. I remember Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
I ain't know for Mike.
I would see how he would talk to his woman, and she wouldn't say a motherfucking thing. But if you talk like that to a woman, and he's just correcting her, she fucked up, and he got on her rope. Cause you gotta understand, you're not fucking up. You're not just fucking up what I got going on. You fucking up the whole business as a whole by that one mistake. So if I get on your ass now, it won't happen again. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like if you do women like that in our culture, oh, it's gonna be a knockout, drag out fight.
Oh, you controlling.
Yeah.
Oh, you narcissistic. You misogynistic. But like I say, man, if you cannot in one hand say, well, men are supposed to be the leaders, and then when I lead,
It's considered
you push
aggression.
against it.
Yeah.
Like my motto is this: if I'm doing such a terrible job, if I'm just so trash at it, then let me step aside. Let me let you lead. And now you get to make all decisions. And guess what, baby? The one thing about being the leader, you take the benefits and you take the downside. You play football, Jermaine. Who they interview after the game? They
The
interview the
quarterback.
coach and they interview the quarterback.
Yeah.
When we win, there's a stat in football that goes quarterback wins, but there's no stat for quarterback losses. It's crazy. It's the only individual position that's defined by wins and losses.
Yeah.
Now,
but like you said, and it goes back to that team. You know, you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for that team. And if you come in the game thinking, I'm not going to this combine to be great so I can be on the field by myself and do the whole, I'm great so I can be part of a great team. I want to get selected to a great team. That's why I say family oriented. If we think about that, we can eliminate all the extra stuff that don't plug into that. You're playing for the team.
Come on, and if we are the key holders, the family, you ultimately will have to confine, or what's the word I'm looking for? You'll have to conform to what it is, that I'm willing to lay out. Because, like I say, a man could give you a open textbook test with the answers, and you're saying, scratch that, nigga. I'm gonna do it my way. Okay, great. Have your way worked out for you? Huh? If your way worked out for you, you wouldn't be right here trying to take this open book test. You'll already have your husband. You'll already have your family. You'll be living happily ever after. You wouldn't even be a part of this conversation because you would have beat the statistic.
And one of the things to tack on to that is the complaint. The complaint about it is, well, why this, why that? And a lot of guys are saying, this is the desire. This is what we want. This is what we look for. This is how we make determinations. And instead of marking that answer on the test, and I always say this on our show, they argue with the cheat sheet. Don't argue with the cheat sheet. The answers are, the guys are saying this is how we perceive these things. And if you want this, then this is how to plug into it. No, it shouldn't be like that.
Guess what? If we want to have sex with you, it works the same way on the opposite end. You're giving us all the keys to the answers to get to that point, to get to nirvana, right? And what's the point of why would we look to argue with you to get that? And you're the key holder for it.
That's right.
It wouldn't make any sense. You don't go into Chick-fil-A and say, hey man, I understand y'all got great chicken, but we need you to add some Tony Satcheries, some Slap Your Mama, and some Louisiana hot sauce to y'all recipe. It don't work like that because the recipe has already been proven to sell and be profitable. Right. It's already been proven to be successful. Hey, and I'm gonna put this out there too. It may seem like the focus is just on the women, but you gotta fix the problem in mass. And what's happening in mass? The women are leaving. You got to talk to the people that's leaving. A man is not going to sit here and be with a woman for 20 years and say, you know what, man, I'm bored. I ain't got nothing else to do. So you know what? This is over. Because he knows he's going to end up paying. There is a song and there's a saying that says it's cheaper to keep her.
We raised on that. We are raised on that.
But I don't agree with that. I think it's cheaper to let her ass go. Unless you married. Unless you married.
There you go.
Unless you married, yeah.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10. But that's the thing though. We deal with results, which is marriages. I don't deal with engagements because black people are the most engaged people on the planet. So I deal with things at the apex of it. Because the peak of a relationship is you being married. And if we're going to sit here and simulate the real thing, we're going to sit here and play house, we might as well do the real thing.
So before we go, give us what's coming up for the Domino Effect show.
Ooh-wee. I got some this week. I ain't bullshitting. I got this video that speak to the statistics, and I will have people know majority of black men are single and childless. Yep. There's 16% of men that have children. 16% of black men have children. Hooks, what do you say? That means what?
It's the same 16 making all them babies.
The same 16 making all them babies.
Which means women are choosing those same 16 guys.
Same 16%.
The same percentage. The same pool. Mm.
And what time is y'all show and what day it is?
It's Wednesday, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'm sorry, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. on the Facebook Live, on the YouTube, and on the Twitter.
So y'all got something going on Saturdays too?
We will definitely start reactionary Saturdays.
That one's controversial because we don't hold back on that one. That one's rough.
Yeah, it's not for the weak at heart. What you saying? if you're sensitive, it ain't for you. And we do reviews.
It's not very general. We literally watch videos and respond directly to
what's being said.
Who are speaking. So
shit, that's what it's a reaction is a reaction. Nigga, if I come over there and eat your chicken and I don't like it, nigga, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't give a damn how much you put. I don't give a damn how much you put heart and soul you put in that chicken. If it's nasty, nigga, it's nasty. Fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Why can't you just appreciate that she cooked for you? Well, why can't it be edible food?
like controversial, like I say.
Yeah. So, with that being said, let me give a little rundown. So that's Mikey.
Bear, man. Hey, I love Dolly Bear, bro. She's always active.
Yes, sir.
Always active.
We got Domino Effect on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 8 p.m.
And right now, y'all rocking with TMB with MonkeyMan, which is on Saturdays or Sunday or whenever the person that I'm interviewing is available. And we got Let's Talk About It on Thursday. This week, Let's Talk About It is all about the men and the red flags that they should be looking for in dating women. Then we got CJ Says It, which is I gotta ask her what days but I know she say like on Fridays and stuff like this. So we gonna look out for her show. CJ Said It. Then
Okay.
shout out to my boy Cross with crossyourheart.com for
Shout out
clothing and
Cross, man.
merchandise. I got my shirt somewhere, my Cross Your
Good
Heart.
people.
Oh, here you go.
Good
Yeah,
people.
this
Matter of
here.
fact, man, we need to talk offline, man. That's my boy. We need to have us another one of those
Yeah.
men conversations.
Cross your heart. We in there. Dirty
Man.
South Monkey in the building. You understand? Oh wait, let me move this so y'all can see this. Yeah, Dirty South Monkey. Yeah, go get the merch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Raymond Shaw. I think he's still running this special. I need to call him and ask him before
My
y'all
boy.
call.
Hey, my boy, he false advertising. Fuck you say.
Yeah. So hey, just call him. Don't worry about the special, and don't tell him Monkey Man sent you either, because I don't know if the special's still running. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. With that being said, shout out to my boy Anthony Johnson with the mobile mechanic. He gonna pull up on
Yo,
you and fix something. And shout
nice.
out to my girl again, CJ, with the bus services and this and one way or round trip front door service, safe and dependable service. Fees due on Sunday, so we're gonna hold your child up Saturday until you pay
Oh,
your
whoa,
fees
whoa,
on
hold.
Sunday. 7 acres on Greater Greenseport. It's summer 249. Now we ain't gonna hold your child high.
Also,
And plus,
man, hey, make sure y'all pay y'all dues the same way you pay your respects on time. Don't wait for the 50 final notice. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac. I'm always
yeah.
dropping that line.
And she also got this.
Yeah, everybody know I've been dealing with my male pattern baldness, you know what I'm saying? So I've been looking for a product that can help me with my hair. So a friend of mine told me about CJ's Lock. Yeah, everybody know I've been dealing with my male pattern baldness, you know what I'm saying? So I've been looking for a product that can help me with my hair. So a friend of mine told me about CJ's Lock Love Oil. So I went out and got me a bottle. So, hey, let's see what it do. I'm gonna apply some to my head before I go to bed. Let's see what it do. Well, I applied some. See y'all in the morning. So now let's check and see the results. Look at my head. What the look at my hair now, look at my hair now, look at my hair. CJ Lock Love. Look at my hair. Say, look at my hair. Oh, Lord. Look at my hair now, look at my hair. Look at my hair. Thank you, CJ Lock Hair. Look at my hair. You the bitch. Look at my hair. CJ Lock Love. Roll your shit back.
Yeah. Get you
CJ
some
Lock
CJ
roll
Lock
your shit
oil.
back.
You know what I'm saying? And check out my new show coming soon. We got a new show coming soon.
Keep flowing dollars.
So before we leave tonight, is there anything y'all would like to say?
Thanks for having us on the
Your
show, man. We
phone
truly
ringing, baby.
appreciate it. He gone.
Man, hey, you already know, man. I appreciate being on this show. I appreciate the opportunity, any opportunity I get to come on and speak my piece on these type of things, especially these conversations that need to be had. And we just gotta do better as a people,
Yeah.
man. That's it, man. Like not just men, not just women. Us as a culture, as a whole, we gotta do
Hold
better.
on, baby. And with that being said, because I gotta walk my girl outside, everybody have a wonderful night. And this is being TMB with MonkeyMan.
And
Woo.
y'all know it's foes on both hands. It's foes on one hand. That means it's peace on both.
I like that. We out this beat.
Turn it up, pass the track straight to fucking MonkeyMan. Burn it up.
Cross my heart, I never cross the plug. I'm game related like Dewberry and C-Dub. So let's talk about it. TMB with MonkeyMan. Stop playing games, boy. Stay in your own lane. Beating on my chest like a fucking 8. Oklahoma all the way to the H. Body rock south side, what you talking about? Lakers home, pro folk, that's the north side. Holla at that bar bands, full of slab side. Mike and Pratt, that's a domino effect. You must be loco if you think you in the winner circles. I'm in the trade, but I don't see no TV. It's that boy MonkeyMan and that Mike D. On the coffee run early morning with my peeps. Bitch, I'm monetized on YouTube in the street. Somebody call the zoo, cause MonkeyMan, I
So I guess I'm on my MonkeyMan shit. MonkeyMan shit, ayy. So I guess I'm on my MonkeyMan shit. MonkeyMan shit, ayy. Moving through the jungle, I can fuck with no fake niggas. Only fuck with real niggas.